all covered.
That was it.
That's it?
Why are you clapping so much?
I don't
man?
know. We start?
You waiting for me?
Yeah.
We're going to review the greatest workout of all time. 24.3.
Boink?
I was trying to hide the fact that I said boink, dude. I should have told you about it.
Lewis.
Woo! 24.3.
24.3. 5 rounds of 10 thrusters and 10 chest to barf. Am I right?
Yeah.
1 minute rest. 5 total rounds of 7 thrusters, 7 barf facing muscle ups. Muscle ups.
You mean barf?
Barf muscle ups.
Barf muscle ups.
I don't know what I mean, boys. Okay, our thoughts on this workout. Louis, what are your first thoughts on this workout?
I loved it. It fits perfect in the open. People were complaining about so much hinging. We got a shit ton of squatting, bunch of pulling gymnastics. I love the setup. I like the minute rests. I like the first piece. It's a little easier to get done, whether you're scaled or RX. And I like that it sets you up to get your first pull-up or your first bar muscle-up. I think that's like the magic of the open. You know, you get that stuff happens. It's cool. Everyone enjoys watching it. It's like cool for the community. I thought it was a great workout.
I agree. Traditionally, a lot of the workouts in the open that have that like higher skilled movement towards the end, it's normally a very short time cap, and people really have to go super all in from the beginning of the workout to just sit there under the rings or handstand walk or potentially whatever it is to get that high skill movement. What I like about this one is they allotted a ton of time for it. So like in any scenario, whether you did the RX version or you did the scaled version, you had a tremendous amount of time to sit there and try to get pull-ups or try to get bar muscle-ups. And like Lewis said, I think that is the magic in the open. They did that very well.
I think it shows that they said they wanted to do an open that was more catered towards general population, not just elites, but still keep those people involved. And I think overall, they obviously put a lot of thought into those workouts. And I think they kind of hit the mark, to be honest. I know we had some like high-level CrossFitters complaining a little bit, but to me, that's like, you're just complaining because you like complaining. I think overall, those 3 workouts, you had an aerobic one, you had this shorter one that really pushed your gymnastics and your sort of overall strength endurance, and the first one was like all go engine. I think you kind of tested everything, and they were good tests for general class people and high-level CrossFitters. Like, to me, one of the better opens. I think they hit the mark.
Yeah, it's general and inclusive, which is like what the mark of the open and what CrossFit sets to represent. So I think they did a tremendous job in regards to that. Like you said, people who complain are people who complain a lot, and they just want to hear themselves talk. There's some arguments to some of those things from the highest level, and like we said in the last episode, it's an element of the open that it just does no longer exist, and I think for good reason, you know. So in my opinion, this is, if not the best, one of the best opens as far as tests of fitness goes, you know.
And just like inclusivity too, like making sure that they're good workouts for everyone.
I just mean that by test of fitness that they did, like each different workout had like you're saying, one with a lot of hinging, one that you can go really hard on. There's like a couple different. I think that it was well varied across all 3 workouts. You know. Yeah. You know, you could argue that there was an excessive amount of hinging between the first and the second one. However, I don't think it was detrimental. So, and in this workout, the scaled and the RX versions were still good workouts. It ended up being like I did the scaled version. Those jumping pull-ups, I'm kind of like squatting the whole time. I went from doing thrusters into kind of doing the same movement on the pull-up bar and back and forth. Man, I was crushed. Like my quads and like I was really smoked out. Yeah.
Again, it's just like you can tell they paid attention this year to like what are regular people going to do in the open, and they made them good workouts. We've had open years that the scaled workout has like bear crawls, and it's
It
just
is
like
a
kind of
bear one.
wacky.
Yeah.
This year, every workout, if you did scaled or RX,
You did a hard-ass
you
workout.
got a good workout in.
Yeah.
There was no like, 7-bar muscle-ups right in the beginning of the workout. Well, I'm done for 8 minutes, like let me just attempt. It was everybody got good workouts in. I thought it was fantastic.
I think they were very well structured, super balanced, no taping of the floor, no wacky standards, no wacky movements, no wacky scales.
Easy to understand for judges, easy to count, easy to watch. Like, I mean, for an elite athlete or someone who needs to have it recorded, easy for somebody to verify. Like,
I think it was great. I hope that they keep some of that same energy into quarterfinals. I mean, quarterfinals for sure will be the place where we'll see more technical, more complex. We're definitely going to have to tape floors. There will, that won't stay, but the simplicity of fitness testing, which I like the most, I hope we have that same energy behind quarterfinals.
Do it. Like this open shows, I would argue that even though those workouts cater to regular people, the fittest people are still at the top of the leaderboard. It wasn't set up in a way where you get weird results. Like, dude, the guys who were at the games last year and are the fittest did the best on these workouts, and like those tests were just programmed really well. I think you could do the same thing for quarterfinals.
let's talk about the best times in the gym. So for RX, Robbie got 11:43.
Good job, Bob.
Huge for Robbie.
Paige 10:27. That's huge to get under 10:30 in that workout. And she did that at Fort Lauderdale. Robbie did his at Miami in the afternoon.
Yeah, Robbie did his Friday Night Lights in Miami, and Paige did hers Friday Night Lights in FTL.
Robbie's been doing this for so long at this point, man. He's been competing forever with us. It's cool to see him still putting in the work and like getting the top score in the gym.
And continuing to make progress after so many years and competing at a very high level for Robbie. I love seeing that he closed the Open with that big win. And that showed me personally how much more important the thrusters were in this workout than I initially thought. Now, I'm not going to say it was an all thruster workout. We have some folks in the gym that have been saying that it was all about the thrusters. I just think that they meant a lot more than I initially thought after watching how competent Robbie was moving that 135.
At the end, that heavier weight really separated people. A lot of people's times were close, and then those heavy thrusters immediately separated the pack.
You know, if it was like 10 bar muscle ups or 12 bar muscle ups, that conversation would probably be flipped and be a little different. Yeah, that pairing of the 7 and 7, I think at that point leaned a little bit more towards the thrusters.
Yeah. Now scaled, Villian with 13:21, and Madeline with 10 flat.
She also did it at Friday Night Lights, and Villian did it in the morning, I believe.
10 minutes for scaled is that's a really good score.
And her pull-ups were great. She moved so well.
There's PRs all over the gym. I mean, people got their first bar muscle ups stringing together. Also, some people also strung together their first bar muscle ups in a workout. So some people had them and then were able to complete them in a workout.
Yeah, we often will have folks who like can put together a couple when they're well recovered, when skill portion of a class, and have some difficult. Yeah, having to do some after doing 50 pull-ups is really incredible for some of these guys.
Paulette got her first bar muscle ups ever, so congrats to her. That's a really big one, Pause. Monica Vega, 50 chest to bar pull-ups in a workout, and first time doing these in a workout, and she did 50. So that's big. Yossi in Fort Lauderdale got her first pull-ups in a workout.
Figured out how to kip, got a bunch of them.
Adrian Estrada did the workout in the morning, came back in full costume to judge and help his team. Marco Salazar with 7 thrusters at 135 and 7 bar muscle-ups.
That is incredible for Marco.
Abe got a few thrusters at 135.
Natasha as well. Natasha has gotten a bar muscle before, but not really much in a workout. She got through a full round plus 1 bar muscle up.
Another example of someone being able to finally do these, like messing around with bar muscle ups, but then being able to get them in a workout is a big deal. Like doing them for skill work is different than doing them after so many pull-ups. That's crazy. In JP news this week,
Your favorite segment.
right? Our JP newscast, Jonathan Pedrino ran a mile. has nothing to do with the Open. But that's totally what's up.
But he's a runner now.
Yeah, he's a runner now. Check out Pill Jar Productions. In other JP news, Josh Pereira did the workout at 6 a.m., came back in a costume to redo the workout, and Judge brought a lot of spirit to the Open. He's been there every Friday working out with his team.
Very active on the groups.
Killed it.
Team component there
You're only a JP if you're a John Paul,
I agree.
George, and Ringo.
How about Juan Pedro?
Juan Pedro doesn't count. It only counts in English. I'm sorry. And Jose Pepe.
Jean-Pierre.
Jean-Pierre? Nope. Jean-Pierre?
Nope. Well, it does count. His last name's a little French.
So French and Spanish, or French and English only count.
I think his name's pretty French.
That's a French name, my little croissant. Now, my little croissant did a full workout in a sumo costume. He is our little croissant.
Yeah. He is like a croissant.
Yeah.
He's not flaky. No. But he's soft.
Perfect.
He's comfortable.
Yeah, he's perfect in every way. Shout out to the weightlifting team in both gyms. They were training on the side, judging all their people during the workout, hanging out, just having the same spirit of Friday Night Lights, the power lifters, the weightlifters. Really, the whole gym showed up for it. So many good outfits, matching leprechauns, right?
One in each gym.
Matching Where's Waldo's.
Matching dragons.
Matching dragons. Wolves.
We had 2 sexy wolves in Fort Lauderdale.
Sexy wolves even. Crash Test Dummies. Great band. Little Mermaid. Man, there's so many. I'm like, Humberto and his Moana situation.
But he wasn't Moana, right?
No, he's the other guy in Moana. Humberto as The Rock. The Sean Connery movie. Oh, he dressed up as Sean Connery in The Rock.
With Nicolas Cage, dude.
What's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
Face Off. All day.
That was quick.
You guys don't have a Nicolas Cage list?
I think The Rock.
I think it might be both.
Face Off, dude.
I know. But come on. Sean Connery? On Alcatraz?
Favorite Sean Connery movie?
007.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? You're gonna go The Rock over any of the 007s?
I didn't think we were going to talk about Sean Connery today. That's pretty
now.
cool.
You gotta always be prepared, brother.
I didn't have time for my Sean Connery
What's
list.
Broken Arrow is a great movie.
Oh my god.
Broken Arrow?
And that's with Christian Slater and Sean Connery?
I think. Who were we talking about?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
I don't think he's in that.
Confusing Broken Arrow and The Rock and Face Off. You could tell me John Travolta is in Broken Arrow with Christian Slater, and I would believe you.
I guess we'll have to let us know in the comments what your favorite Nicolas Cage movie is. Apparently, Lewis loves Face Off.
I do.
Okay, then what's your favorite John Travolta movie? Don't tell me Face Off. Don't tell me
Face Off.
No, dude.
Grease.
No, Pulp Fiction.
What's the one where he's an angel?
Michael?
Michael. It's
Yeah.
And the Phenomenon. Isn't he in Phenomenon? He does this, you know?
Oh my
And in
god.
Phenomenon. Isn't he in Phenomenon? He does this, you know?
Oh,
Is he in Apocalypto?
John Travolta.
He is in Apocalypto.
Rookie of the Year.
Just give me a hug, dude. Just give me a hug, brother. Okay. Friday Night Lights was a success. People showed up to work out in classes earlier. People did people did training hall midday, but showed back up for Friday Night Lights. 50 plus people in each gym, something like that.
The coolest thing was seeing people, especially in Fort Lauderdale where there's a lot of newer people who hadn't done an open, didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Kind of before it even started going, what is that? Do I have to sign up? I don't want to. And then like by the end of it, everyone was showing up. Everyone was super into it. They loved it.
People who normally don't show up on Fridays. People who are normally, Monday to Thursday, Monday, like early morning people, 6 a.m. crew.
I think what was seeing special is like some Miami people getting to know some FTL people as well. Going up there to support them. There were FTL people coming down. Yesterday, I was in FTL, and some of the folks who hadn't had an opportunity to come down to experience the Friday Night Lights in Miami, they're talking about doing a field trip to come to Miami to meet their teammates.
They did some pickleball. Correct. Like they went out to Tropical Park to do some extra things. A lot of like the camaraderie behind it was the idea. Yep. There are people in the Eagles who otherwise would have never met each other. Yeah. Same thing with the Panthers, the Wolves, and the Dragons. I really think it brought a lot of the gym together, and it's cool to see that happen. Absolutely. I think, and that was a success. Definitely, like a lot of people showed up, and it's great to be there and watch that, and not just show up, work out, and leave. Show up in costume, hang out with your people, hang out after, and cheer people, even if you're not judging. Like it really was packed, both gyms end to end, and we were happy to see that. Also, Food for Athletes came out to Miami, sampled food for people. And Isaac from Marks in Cairo came to Fort Lauderdale, worked on people before and after the workout, so that was great as well. Spirit of the Open. This week it goes to Paulette.
Woo! Very well deserved for Paulette. Yeah, I mean, like I was talking to Paulette about this because, Paulette has put herself out there from the beginning of the Open in so many different ways, like being a strong community advocate, showing up to do the workouts, judging people selflessly, and what I think is like stands out the most is how much work she has consistently put in to her fitness this whole year. Like starting the new year, Paulette has been very all in, very vulnerable, putting herself out there from the beginning and making huge change in her strength, in her aesthetic, how she's eating. Paulette is running. She freaking crushed the Open, and she finished the best way humanly possible, which is the exact intention of the Open, getting her first bar muscle up after working so hard for it.
Watching that video made me, shed a little tear. I know how hard she's put, how much work she's put into this. So to see her achieve it successfully at the end was like.
Everyone in our whole house was yelling when Lewis sent us that video of her getting her first bar muscle.
And the same for anyone who put that same kind of effort behind it. But this week I think she's our angel in the outfield.
If you really think about all of the people that we've talked about on these 3 videos, especially today, the consistent theme amongst all of them is they get there early, they stay there late, they do all their warm-ups, they do all their assistance work, they don't miss workouts, they do everything that they're supposed to do. They check all of the boxes, and that's the reason why we're talking about these people, not because we like them more, but because they're making a tremendous amount of progress, and they're doing everything right, so.
All right, now for teams, overall standings.
This is it.
This is it.
Announcing the winners.
4th place with 307 points are the Eagles.
Yay!
Are there any bald men in that team?
There has to be.
Just the 2.
I mean, we got half of our gym is bald.
Just the 2 kings of the gym are bald. That's why you think half the gym is bald. Just you, me, and Greg, right? I love you, Greg. Now, Panthers with 414 points.
Respectable 414 points.
The Wolves. Humberto's Wolves. With 522 points. And that leaves the Dragons. With 500 million points.
Good job, everybody.
Good job, Dragons. It was
541.
That's a 3.
That's a 3. I dropped the wrong number. 541 points. 541 points, my Dragons. Now fly. Fly away like the great dragons that you are.
I think it should end on that, dude. I think it's got to end on that.